Hello everybody, welcome back to Gelvin Valley Farming Simulator 15. We are in the middle of our harvest and I'm trying to get a jump on rowing up some of the straw here while our harvester continues in another field. I gotta say it's a little, well, I won't say it's a little tougher. I'm wondering if I should do it a little bit differently to where maybe I try to get both of these windrows dropped off the combine into the same. The older combine, as you recall, we were using a header that was a little narrower. I gotta make sure I get over by the edge here. So it dropped loads more windrows behind the combine when it harvested. Now, with it a little bit wider, it's dropping fewer windrows, so all the straws bulked up in them. So, anyway, I'm just talking out loud here. Might have to, it might change a little bit as to how I try to row these up, but I don't know. We will see. What I did last time was just try to take two rows kind of around the field, and then I would go back and forth using GPS. That's probably what I'll do this time too. Just because I've changed the size of the combine header doesn't mean... Oh, there, I left that little bit. I know I've mentioned this before. My OCD is such that I don't like leaving little bits anywhere in the field, so... Oh, there I did another one. So I'll need to pick that up with the bather anyhow when I get to that point. Combine is working in another field, or at least ways I hope it's working. Yep, and Courseplay is working along with it, right? Right, they're both at least still moving. So that's a positive thing. But I'm getting through these fields quicker now. And this is gonna make for some interesting logistics. But hopefully, yeah, I don't need to comment on that anymore as to whether I'm gonna make videos of harvest. Shoot, I'm just grabbing it and going. I used to be able to see. Let me see here. For some reason, I can't see what's up in the corner. Oh, there it is. You know what it is. This always, always, always turns it off. I don't know why. There it is. As long... Oh, okay, the combine is moving, so that is positive. So I can look at it here and know kind of what they're doing. Combine is barely moving, but at least it's moving. But actually, it's probably almost done with that particular field over there, so... You know what? Here's what I'm saying. Maybe I don't even need to do 2 rounds on the field anymore because I got plenty of space just doing the one. Space to turn around, that is. Well, last time I talked a little about some of the joys of modding, and I'm trying to do something with a fire. It's one of those, that's another thing about modding. Whenever there's some idea that a guy has, I think I mentioned the rock spawn mod, that was my very first mod that I ever did. I didn't know a lick of Lua coding, so I learned a little about that. And I don't know, this is where a guy can have ideas that you think are good, and I did. I mean, I was I thought, well, that'd be a great idea, you know, give the players something else to do, dig up rocks out of a field, whatever. But there are a lot of people that can't stand it or wouldn't want to have it in their map, wouldn't want to have to deal with it, which is part of the reason. One of its better features is the ability to turn it off. You know, when you get tired of dealing with it, you can just quit dealing with it. But and also maybe something of limited value to someone else. You know, I still remember. Oh, there I missed a bit again. I'm doing a horrible job. I still remember when I built that mod on FSU UK before the site was closed. Man, pay attention here. Oh, and I think my other field, he's probably done harvesting maybe. Close. Yeah, probably definitely getting close to being done. Let's see here. How can I set this up? You know, the combine may start to outrun my ability to keep up with it with this thing. That's probably about right. You know what? The combine is moving again, so I'm just gonna keep going in here while they're moving and doing stuff. Anyway, like I was talking with mods, you know, it's not uncommon that when someone comes up with an idea, it's definitely not one size fits all. And I think we know that. I mean, some people go nuts over John Deere mods and they get everyone they can, and other people, you know, do the same for Massey Ferguson or whatever. You know, different strokes for different folks. And then there are some that are just of so limited application that it hardly seems worth having them in the first place. And I think a lot of my modding endeavors have kind of fallen into this category. One of my mods, for example, was for damage caused by hail. Well, how often does it hail? You know, especially in Farm Sim 15, it just doesn't hail that very often at all. I mean, I'm actually kind of excited. We're having a rainstorm coming here because we don't very often even get rain, you know, but back in this version. And hail is even rarer still, I think. Okay, so I made a mod, you know, that would cause damage to the fields from hail, but it hardly ever is activated or used, so it's basically about worthless to the player. And so, you know, I'm just kind of thinking of this fire idea. Basically, what I want to do with it is have the ability for a combine fire to happen. But combine fires don't happen that often at all. You know, I mean, there are farmers that go their entire career and they're very thankful they never have a combine fire or a tractor fire or any kind of a fire. So it isn't just something that's gonna just happen out there. So in order for it to happen, you know, I might have to bump up the odds of it happening to be far more than what would actually be realistic, just so that it periodically happens and forces the player to deal with the fire. And I'm sure there are some others out there. Well, I mean, this is an old game, so who cares, you know, what modding I do on it, you know, just for my own enjoyment or whatever in there. So, but I think even the fire mods for uh, later versions of Farming Sim have improved greatly. So, my goodness, is that guy still harvesting? I'm gonna go down and take a peek. Yeah, I guess he is harvesting. And Courseplay is fully behaving itself. See, Atomic 67? Sometimes it works. So if the odds of a combine fire during harvest is, oh, I don't know. I have no idea what the statistic is. Let's say for all combines, and for all areas, it's 0.5%. 0.5% likelihood that you will experience a combine fire at any given time that you take it out. And of course, there's lots of things that can impact that. But let's say if you take every precaution, it's 0.5%. Well, I may need to bump that up to, say, 5% so that the player gets to have a few combine fires to deal with. Not too many so they become overly burdensome. You know, if it's 5%, that'd basically be 1 in 20, right? So, I don't know. These are just the ruminations of an idiot trying to figure out what to do with a mod that will never be released, most likely, and that nobody cares about on an old game. But it may have applicability to later versions. You know, if there's some things figured out on it, you know, maybe those could be carried over in the coding to even as far as ARMSIM 22. Although maybe somebody out there has already developed things of this nature and wouldn't need me to fuss with it. It's just that the coding was changed so much. At least that's how it felt to me between 17 and 19 Farm Sim versions. And as somebody that isn't a practicing computer programmer, if you will, changes like that are very frustrating. You know, because it was so costly of an investment to learn how to do it in 15 and then again in 17, which was similar, that when they change it around on you, even if it's for the better, when you're used to doing it a certain way, I don't know, for me, I may be just a slow learner, but that can be kind of hard on a person. But by the same token, how the end can they improve what they offer to the public if they don't make changes? So I get it. I'm just saying. I'm just saying it's tough. If you want to mod. Alright, you know, it appears I am combining. It appears my guy is delivering. Look at that, he's over in storage. What a good fellow. At least the route seems to work, kind of, sort of, on field number 3. But I really need to go back and clean up field number 1. That was just a blooper to drive right on past it yet. Still not sure why I did that. You know, in my recent Gelvin Valley videos that are currently playing on YouTube, I think it's, oh, it's episode 26, 27, I forget kind of where the public ones are. The one we're on right here is over 80, so this is a long ways down the road. For all I know, it'll never see the light of day. People get completely bored of Gelvin Valley. Um, but it was interesting. I can't remember what all talked about in the video, but looking at the comments on there, um, one of my friends that I'm acquainted with, who lives in the UK, left a comment of his own love of history, and what did he say? I think he told me he has in his personal library over 200 books on World War I alone. You know, what they call the Great War. And I can't remember what I replied to him, but he went on to comment that his grandfather was a soldier, I guess, in World War One, and like so many veterans of wars, the soldiers, when they come home, they are they don't like talking about their experiences. And I know in school, when I went through history, I enjoyed history a lot. The part of history I didn't enjoy, of course, was having to do homework and studying areas that I wasn't really interested in, and taking tests. Let me just say I enjoy history a whole lot more out of school than I ever did when I was in school, and I'm sure I'm not alone in that. Just kind of blows having to take tests and write papers and all these things, unless you're someone that really, really enjoys that kind of thing. And it was all right, I guess, in the day and time when I did it, but I just I prefer to read the books now and leave it at that. But I still enjoyed it nonetheless. And some of my favorite areas to study were the wars. Maybe that's just a teenage boy thing, liking firearms and things that blow up and stuff like that. Um, but I enjoyed learning about the wars, and obviously I'm over here in America, so it would be wars for American independence from from the UK. Kind of ironic that one of our best friends in the whole world happens to be the UK, or that's at least how I see it. Culturally, we're very similar, and yet there was a time when not one but two wars at least were fought between us. The Revolutionary War for America's independence and the War of 1812. I guess there was a second go at it. But whether it was those or we had ourselves a civil war, I'm not sure war is exactly civil, but that's what they called it. Um, then World War One, Great War, World War Two, Korean War, Vietnam, Spanish American War, French and Indian War. I mean, there's just, you'd think the human race never had any peace, and I'm not sure it ever has. When it comes right down to it, there's just been war after war after war, people unable to get along, wanting to do something different, whatever. But it was an interesting field of study, and um, the one that has fascinated me the most, what this got me thinking of, just reading his comment on his own library and his grandfather is, I'm recording this episode sitting out kind of in my, well, I could give it some fancy name and call it my study, my whatever. My wife refers to it as a man cave, but I've always loved books and I've wanted to have my own library. So, I'm looking around the room here and I have several shelves with lots of books on them. Haven't even read all of them. I've read a significant chunk of them though, and most of them that I'm interested in, when I was a kid, I was more interested in fiction, and I don't know if that's something that just changes with age or just what. But as I've aged, I'm just fiction. I mean, it's okay, but I'm just more interested in something that's real. And yeah, maybe I can hire him, get him going. So most of the books that I have in here that I'm collecting, that I'm interested in are nonfiction. My goodness. I wonder if the ground is so bloomin' curved, it's just hard to... No, that doesn't look too curved. Who knows? It's probably just trying to negotiate the turn. Don't know. Get it hired, send them on around. I'm gonna go find... Oh, wait a minute. Let me turn the tractor off, save diesel. Go back out here. And yeah, we can probably still take him. He's not all the way full. So I have my own little collection, but unlike what the gentleman posted, this was Reefy 1952, I don't have near that many books. 200 on World War One. I mean, that's just amazing. If someone had asked me how many books were out there on World War One, I mean, this would be a very naive comment. I wouldn't have even thought there were 200. And I think maybe it's interesting that he's interested in World War One. I would have guessed most people tend to be more interested in World War Two versus World War One. But maybe I'm just speaking for myself. You know, there's no accounting for what any of us might or might not be interested in. I just know for me, I've World War II has seemed uh, more of interest to me, and I'm not sure why that is. Some of it is, you know, just that particular time era and the evil um, in the Nazis. Where am I trying to show waypoints? Okay, here we go. Oh, nope, I gotta get on the other side of this. He ain't gonna wanna. Will this work? Yes, no. Attaboy. There you go. Find your stop sign. Oh, now go find the combine. You do you. Or stop. Right in the middle. Oh, yeah, the combine is. You have got to be kidding me. I am dumbfounded. You know what? This thing is probably not going to let me pull that through the fence. Nope. I don't know whether to laugh or cry. Oh my goodness. How? Well, let's see here. Is it trying to sneak it back over? Oh, my lands. If I lower the header, come on, you can get it off of that fence, right? You know, I've had this happen before, and it ended up in this fence. I, like I say, I don't know whether to laugh or cry. It's like I have to do everything on the outer round. Yeah, look how far off the ground that is sitting. Even my tires were right here. Wow. I am just dumbfounded. Absolutely. Can I pull the old snap it off of the... Let me see here. Is this... Yeah, it's like part of it is like somehow this header, it's embedded in a hard object, so it'll let us... Wow. Well, this just royally screwed up what I'm trying to do in here. Come on, get off of there. And for whatever reason, teleport doesn't work worth anything on a combine. So, you know what? I'm going to have to just close the episode here. I think we're almost at 25 minutes. It's getting close to half an hour anyhow. What do I say? What can I say? I've tried and tried and tried to prevent this. Maybe I need, for the fence, maybe it's simply just not high enough. Maybe I need the barricade of the fence to go higher so that, and maybe the header doesn't have collisions. You know, that's always possible too. Although if it didn't have collisions, it shouldn't be having trouble pulling back here in reverse. Wow. This is really frustrating. So I'm going to follow Atomic 67's advice. I won't force you to watch me do the reset and drive it all the way back here. That's a royal pain in the patoodle, but I'll need to do it. It is what it is. Thank you all for watching. And you know what? I think the picture I put on the thumbnail is going to be right here of my combine jamming its header across the fence. Yet again. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye for now.